What is going on, everybody? I still need to fix that window. We got the Tahoe looking mint as ever. Got a kind of free car wash from the rain. But what are we going to do today? We got plenty of stuff that we're going to do today, but what I'm going to show you in this video is how to properly set ignition timing on any 5.7 Vortec that's going to be post 96. The 95 and older ones, you got to do some other kind of weirder stuff, but with this one, you are going to need, really you only need one thing, and that's going to be a kind of a higher end professional scan tool or a diagnostic tool, because there is a PID that you have to look for in the scan tool that you cannot look for, or the you good that you cannot find in a generic scan tool. You could plug up a regular code reader and look up ignition timing, but there is a specific GM specific PID that you got to look at, and I'll show you how to look at that right now. And it's super simple, but yeah, we'll get to it. Give you a little walk around of the Tahoe, my two-door 96. If you haven't seen any of the videos of me kind of like bringing this thing back to life, because this was sitting in someone's backyard for many years, and it's going pretty good. It drives really good. Like I said, we got a few things that we're going to do today, but in today's video, I'm showing you how to set up ignition timing, and I'll do that right now. So first thing we're going to do is, obviously, I'm just going to turn it on, let it warm up a little bit. I'll get the scan tool plugged in and ready to go. All right, here we go. So we're going to set everything up. Obviously, this is a GM. There we go. We got the 4-speed automatic. Under 8600, I guess. Yep, there goes everything that's on there. I'm gonna hit yes, and I'll show you there is right here. We're gonna go auto scan. You know, it's scanning. Whoa, I got a fault. What do I got a fault for? Oh, I got a heated O2 Bang 2 sensor too. I'll have to look at that later. Maybe that's because of the O2 sensor pipe that I had to put in there. So if you see one of my last videos where I got the exhaust fixed, it's probably just that sensor that's in there. So that's nothing. So we're gonna go ECU information. Actually, no, we're gonna go. There we go. Live data, engine live data. Don't mind the squeak, it's the AC compressor. So there's two things you got to do. For one thing, we're going to check engine speed. So that's RPM right there. Then we're going to go down here. Most of these you can see on a generic scan tool, but when you keep going, and you're going to keep going, you know, you can look at knock sensor, spark. Spark is something that you can also see right here in a generic scan tool, but that's not what we want to look at right now. Right here, camshaft, CMP, retard. So we're gonna go show. Let's see. Yeah, we can kind of leave them like that. Let's go right here. Cool. We can kind of leave it like that. So, what you want to do, you know, I've been turning it on, let it warm up a little bit. You want to bring the engine speed to right above, or right at 1000 RPM or above, and you're going to watch out for camshaft position retard. This adjustment is on the top of the distributor. So at 1000 RPM or higher, you want this value to be plus or minus 2. 0 plus or minus 2. So we're gonna bring it up. Don't mind the squeak. See if we get a little tappy tap. There we go. So we're at about 1140, and you see right here the value is still at 0, which is good. So that means we don't have to do any ignition timing. This is good because I already had it preset, and the video I did didn't really come out that good, so you're getting it now. And that's it. Before, what this value was, this was actually like -6. So what this can actually affect is your kind of like highway miles per gallon, or your amount of torque the engine can actually output above like 60 miles an hour. So I mean, it'll be fine and all dandy, but once you get up to 60, or if you're towing or something like that, it'll have no balls, and your gas mileage is gonna suck. So there we go, 1100, and we're down to 0, which is good. So we're gonna call that fine on this end. Let me just back out of it. There's a lot that you can do in this scan tool. If you want to purchase this one, this is actually pretty cheap. This is an Autel 808. You know, you can see it's all touchscreen. I can go transmission live data, and this is all stuff that I'm seeing on a 96, which is like pretty surprising. So we got battery voltage right here in the corner. It was 13. So we got engine speed, desired idle, you know, duty cycle, the torque converter clutch, all kinds of stuff. If you have any faults on this drive cycle, again, don't mind the squeak. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and escape out of all this. I'll look at that O2 sensor later and my restraint faults later, whatever. I'll go ahead and shut it off. We're gonna do this live. Maybe I can get the Kung Fu grip on the hood. Maybe I can get it. See if I can get it. Nope. I'm gonna figure it out how to get it one of these days. How to get the Kung Fu grip. There, I was able to get it. Whew, 5.7 Vortec in all its glory. All right, so if you're doing it by yourself, it'll be a little harder to do, but it's pretty simple. So what you're gonna do, the reason why I had to do it was, you know, I had everything apart, and you do want to, and I had never set an ignition timing in this car because, you know, I wasn't not the original owner, but right in here, right there, that guy, get my flashlight to be a little better. It is the hold down for the distributor in the back. So if I can go ahead and show you, flashlight on deck all times. Actually, I think the button broke on this one, so we're gonna just hide that guy right in here. That way I can show you what to adjust. And yep, I just dropped my light. So right there, as you can see, right there, you can see that 13 millimeter nut that's right there holding the distributor hold down. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna have it at the idle above 1,000 RPM, and you can have a scan tool sitting out here on the windshield, or you can just come over and do small changes at a time, loosen it, and what you're gonna do is just, all that does is hold the cap down. You're gonna turn it and then lock it back into position, go back inside, you know, let the idle come back down. If you want to, you can do a key cycle. If you want to be super paranoid about that, bring it back up to 1,000 RPMs and make sure that the value is 0 plus or minus 2. That is in degrees, of course. Super simple. That's all you need to do. Easiest car I've ever set timing on before. You don't need a timing light up front. You don't need to disconnect any vacuum gauges. You don't need to apply vacuum. You don't need to disconnect anything that's under the seat or all kinds of weird stuff like that. The only thing that is a stopping point for most people is that scan tool. But if you don't have one, I recommend it. I mean, if you are setting timing on one of these cars on your own, that means you're somewhat mechanically inclined to do this kind of work, and having a scan tool like that is highly beneficial for you across the whole board. So that's it. Hope this helps. Super simple. I got a bunch of more stuff on the way. There is more videos I gotta do on the Tahoe because it is not all the way running yet, and I just stepped in poop. So that just made my day. That's why it stinks over here. And, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I gotta go. God. Okay, well, at least it's not mushy. That's it. So hopefully this helps. Super simple. These are kind of like the instructions I got from GM on random GM websites. You can find it on Google, all kinds of stuff like that. And the thing runs freaking smooth. I love it. So check out some other videos that I have up if you want to see me going through the whole process of everything, which I'm still going through right now. I've taken this from someone's backyard just like this and up and driving to go and take my mom to Chick-fil-A or run errands, or eventually this will be my new business platform for me to do my own mobile stuff. Because yes, I am a very capable technician, and this is what will help me allow starting my own mobile service gig for the meantime. What I would like, is a... You all right? It's a truck with the toolboxes and everything, but everyone has to start somewhere, and this is where I'm starting. So have a good day. I'll see you guys in the next video.